the newest Marvel movie that has come out, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I went to go see it. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I personally was going to give it a 95% out of 100. That's my score that I would give it. It was an emotional roller coaster. You know, it had a lot of good laughs, and it had really heartfelt moments in there. But today we are going to read the bad reviews. It doesn't matter how good somebody thinks something is, because somebody else is just not going to like it. So let's get straight into it. Let's read these bad reviews, baby. All right, looking at this has really good scores. I gave it a 95%. I'm only 1% off of the audience, man. This is almost 100%. With the critics, they gave it a certified fresh tomato 80%.
Tomatoes.
I'm really happy that this movie was good. I was a little bit nervous based off of all the projects that we've kind of had leading up to this one, especially with this phase. Ant-Man was very disappointing. It was very like, meh. Just hasn't been good leading up to this point, but I'm glad we got a great film out of this. We will start with the critics. Actually, we're gonna start with the audience. They have the highest score. We're gonna start off with Bill. Just a bad story. Back and forth from Rocket getting tortured to current pathetic versions of Adam Warlock. I could go on, but I won't. Wait for it to stream. Well, I guess Bill just wasn't too fond of it. You have terrible taste, Bill. There's a lot of people giving these like 5-star reviews. It's like so hard to find. Gene thought too much time was spent on Rocket's backstory. I mean, Rocket, honestly, Rocket and Nebula right now, as Guardians of the Galaxy has already had 3 movies, Rocket and Nebula have the best character development. And Rocket is #1 with character development. I feel like they spent time on Rocket for a reason. You're introducing a brand new villain, which is the High Evolutionary, that involves Rocket. So you kind of need Rocket's backstory to kind of explain the story behind the High Evolutionary and what it is that he does. Come on, Gene, use your brain. There we go. Finally, a low review score. We got a 2-star out of 5 by Lewis, eh? It's hard to not love these characters, and the performances are the film's saving grace. Otherwise, the story is a snooze. Continuing Marvel's post-Endgame suckiness, there is one awesome fight scene, some funny dialogue, some heart, but otherwise it's kind of irrelevant to the greater MCU, and it's just another dumb big bad story, like most of the recent Marvel fare. I had high hopes for James Gunn to break the mold, but it really felt like he didn't have a lot to go on here. Highly disagree, Lewis. I think this was probably the most heartfelt movie. As far as, you really gotta think about it, none of them died. Without any character dying, this was probably one of the most emotional Marvel movies. And a main character that is in the Marvel movie didn't have to die. Steve with a 2-star says, writing was well below the standards of the first 2 movies. Here, unpopular opinion. Here's the rankings for all 3 Guardians movies. #1, Volume 1 is #1. Volume 3 is #2. And Volume 2 is last. Because the whole Ego Planet thing, I was like, eh. Well, B gave it a half a 1-star. Do not let your children watch this ever. This was absolutely beyond disturbing. Not a single ounce of happiness was displayed. So much disturbing graphics, imagery, sounds of torturing animals, skin, and organs. Absolutely disgusting. The characters yelled at each other the whole movie. This movie needs to be rated R. Lots of Nazi references, assimilations, and only young girls trapped in cages. So disappointing and beyond disgusting. I am never supporting Marvel again. R.I.P. Stan Lee. Wow. Wow, when you look at it that way, you make it seem like it's like an awful film. And he just saw this today because he posted it May 5th. Or, no, you probably saw it yesterday. 1-star review. The worst. Don't even bother waiting for the end credit scenes because it will make you even more disappointed to a level you didn't even know possible because you were already so disappointed in the crap movie. Dang. For the bad reviews that I found by the audiences, like, you guys are super harsh. You don't hold back. Olivia Thomas with a 1-star review. Animal abuse movie. Terrible. Rotten. It's a villain slash character's backstory, right? In order for you to understand the backstory, like, it's a talking raccoon. Don't you kind of want to understand, like, how did the raccoon become mutated at that point and get to the point where he can speak English and talk? This is how his story was. It just is what it is. Blue Web with a 2-star review gives it a 2-star review. I don't know why I repeated that. Don't go watch this movie if you are sensitive to animal cruelty. The story was dull. The plot had no good meaning. Super Mario Bros. Had a better storyline than Volume 3. Why can't it be as good, if not better, than Volume 1? Hey, Volume 1 is the best Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So I don't think Volume 3 is better than Volume 1. Volume 3 is the most emotional. But the story wasn't dull. You guys are turds. Let's read one more audience review. Oh, we have another half a 1-star from Movie Critic 123. Movie was atrocious. Tried to add so many things to it. Keep it simple, Marvel. Jeez. I think there was a pretty simple storyline. Like, I don't think they threw too much at it. What did they throw that was too much? Adam Warlock was supposed to go in there because at the end of Volume 2, they showed him at the end. High Evolutionary to give Rocket's backstory. That's kind of basically it. Finding Gamora and stuff like that. Mr. Movie Critic 123, you're ugly. That is enough of what the audience thought. Let's go on into reading what the critics had to say. Rain Jokian, or Jokian, sorry if I butcher your name. Don't say I didn't warn you. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Oh, we have a couple here. Movies and Shakers, Linda and Al Lerner. Come for the music and the visual effects, not so much for the disjointed, depressing story. While the Guardians work to save the world, it's too bad that James Gunn and the crew couldn't save this movie. And you guys are old. You don't watch cool stuff. And this was a cool people movie. Y'all aren't cool people. Odie Henderson, a movie is only as good as its bad guy, and I dreaded having to spend time with him. You spent time with the High Evolutionary? Oh, another top critic. This is like, what, the second top critic I've seen? Kyle Smith. I think I've read a review by him. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a blockbuster that, like other recent Marvel disappointments, jogs along from one visual extravagant, strenuously jokey set piece to another without offering much in the way of either dramatic engagement or actually funny ideas. Jeez Louise. Paul Salfin. The band has broken up, but maybe it's for the better. It's a bit of a downer. Some might love this one, but it made me long for when it felt like the first time. So it just wasn't the same. I mean, I feel that, but this was a great movie. Michael J. Casey. If anything, the letdown of Volume 3 isn't all the scenes of torture, genetic mutation, incarceration, and genocide. It's that the movie is here for kicks and a little less. The villain, who is in Volume 3, has to do with Rocket's backstory, then you have to understand the story of the villain as well. If that's how his story was written, I'm sorry, like that is what it is. Barry Hertz, you are a corny cornball. I am grootly disappointed. Really. Top critic, she seems a little angry at this. She watched this April 29th. What? She got like the early access? I regret to inform you that the Guardians of the Galaxy, as you know them, are dead. What remains in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 are flickering remnants of fun times, but mostly maudlin bullshit. Cursing? That's unprofessional, Christy. Another top critic, Greg Newson. The film undermines its initial sense of intimacy and momentum with a stop-and-start story structure that, by and large, exists to make as much room as possible for its characters' banter. Most of the top critics on here do not like this movie at all. These pictures have grown less cute, less charming, and less fun with each passing installment, and this one just drags as it meanders towards its overhyped lump in throat finale. See, look at this. Top critic, splat, splat. Oh, we got one top critic right here, Charlotte O'Sullivan. Got to end on a high note there. Thank you, Charlotte. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you made it to the end of the video, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below on what you truly thought about the film. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and it has definitely been one of the better Marvel movies since Endgame. If you want to see the video of me reading the bad reviews for the worst Spider-Man movies, link is down below. If you want to see me read the worst reviews for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, link is down below as well. You can check out all my other videos by just hitting the subscribe button, turning on the post notifications, because I post consistently. Thanks for watching.